Okay, we going unscripted for this video, so bear with me. Recently though, I made a video talking about the pretty new game, Gray Zone Warfare. It came out only a couple of months ago, and from the looks of it, a good number of you actually enjoyed that video. And now I am back very soon, only a couple of weeks later, to talk about Gray Zone Warfare again because it is only getting better. There have been a bunch of updates, one big update I guess, and some hotfixes, and they are fixing a bunch with the game. Gray Zone Warfare is getting even better, and you know, I want to talk about the future of the game, but I am going unscripted with this one, so I think we should just get right into everything.
I'm not reading this. I'm gonna.
No, please
I
read
think
it.
you might be dyslexic.
Just read the script once.
Okay, you want me to read the script?
Yes.
All right.
So first things first, I do want to look at the big patch 0.1.2 that was released on July 3rd, which I'm pretty sure was before the video was posted, and I really didn't talk about that update in that video, so I'm going to start off talking about that. When looking at this first patch, they actually did fix a good amount of things, and they even added in a bunch of things too. They added in 9 new landing zones. You can now look at the pickup and drop-off destinations for helicopters when you look on the map. They actually added in different aiming down sight sensitivity, which I know a few people did want. They totally fixed the rubber banding. You barely get any of the lag or stutter that was really prominent before. Yes, it does still pop up here and there, but they did a really good job on fixing that. And then they added in various VRAM fixes for your GPUs. You know, some GPUs were, I think it's called memory leaking, when a bunch of memory is being used when, you know, it doesn't need to be. But those are the things added in the patch, but they also fixed a bunch of bugs and little issues people were having with the game, you know, getting stuck in certain spots, or when AI was able to like see you and shoot through the wall like a laser. And then they even fixed the issue where some people weren't able to go back and loot their bodies when in PvE mode. They fixed that up. One thing that was a good fix too is windows. A lot of windows were just bulletproof. You couldn't shoot through windows. And I feel like sometimes you couldn't shoot through windows, but the AI could. I don't know, that could be, who knows, but they fixed the issue when you went into a coma and if you skipped it, it said you did it to yourself instead of, yeah, they fixed that up. You know, those were the things added in some of the fixes, but you know, scrolling through the fixed list on these patch notes, it is insane because they fixed 100 things, probably more than 100 things. They improved things, they polished things, they removed things that didn't need to be in the game or that were issues in the game. They tweaked different animations. Like, this was actually a very big patch. But on top of that, they've been releasing hotfixes since too. Let me go look at those real quick. So on July 10th, they added in the hotfix 0.1.2.1, and that just added in, I guess, different ambient jungle music, as some people who were playing the game were actually getting hit with YouTube copyright issues because the music might have been copyright, and I don't know if they didn't know that or if they just overlooked that. I don't know. They did fix that though. They changed the music when you are in the jungle, so you should not be getting hit with copyright issues anymore. If you do make videos on Gray Zone, I don't really put the music in or the background sounds. Maybe I should in some videos. I don't know. You know, that is not an issue for me, but that is still something good that has been fixed. That's good for a lot of people. And then the most recent hotfix that came out on July 30th, hotfix 0.1.2.2, this also changed a bunch of stuff. It added in a couple of things, but this was another thing that just changed a bunch of issues, fixed a bunch of stuff that people had, even fixing a bunch of issues I was having. So one big thing is when the game crashed, you would lose not only your stuff in the game, but you would lose your task progress. And to my knowledge, they did not fix or change the issue to where you die in the field, you do lose all your gear. I guess that still does happen, but they did fix the issue where your task will just suddenly reset and you have to go get it back. And if you were almost finished with a certain task, it would reset it all. They fixed that issue. That was a big thing that I was running into a lot. Another big thing was sometimes when you would loot containers or when you would place things in containers, if there was too much in it, it would actually create issues for some people. They also fixed some more of the bulletproof windows, which I think were super annoying. There were a lot of times I'd have the perfect shot on someone and then boom, take the shot, doesn't work because of a window right in front of me. But then other times I'd be getting shot by AI who would be shooting through windows. Stupid. They also fixed a few voice chat and, you know, multiplayer features if you were playing with friends in groups or squads. They fixed a lot of issues with that. And they did add in a new GPU crash debugging tool. That's what they call it, but it's if you're crashing a bunch because of your GPU specifically, this should be able to fix the issue. I don't know if it does. But they also, as I said, after that last big patch, they did fix a lot of that rubber banding, but there was still a lot of lag and issue in some areas. They did additional fixes to that, which is awesome. The game is running a lot smoother. It's looking a lot better, but yeah, they've fixed a lot since that last video. They even fixed a lot before I posted that video, but I didn't notice until after it went up, and you get it, but those are the big fixes, updates, hotfixes, that stuff, really improving the game in my opinion. People say that the devs have been lazy, not posting updates, not fixing certain things in the game, but when you look, there was like 3 hotfixes in July alone, a big patch in July. They fixed a lot of stuff in just July, so a lot of people saying, lazy devs, I don't know, I think they're doing pretty good. They are fixing a lot of issues people are having. And yes, I do know a lot of people are also pointing out that the player base is dropping for the game. It had a lot of people at the beginning, but you know, there's 1,000, 2,000 people playing, which is not very good. But those people are pretty committed fans to the community. If you scroll through the Gray Zone Reddit, everyone in that Reddit pretty much loves it. They run into issues and they turn it into a joke, or they just wait till it gets fixed and they hop back on. It's just like Tarkov, and I know a few of you in that last video didn't like that I compared to Tarkov, but what I mean by it's just like Tarkov is the game has issues, it is released in an unfinished state, but that's why it's early access. And a lot of people who like the game are okay with the issues because they know they will be fixed. And from the looks of it, they are being fixed. And that is a big reason I say that Gray Zone Warfare is only getting better. But the other reason I also say that is because they have a whole plan for Gray Zone Warfare. I showed a little picture of their like roadmap or whatever for Gray Zone in the last video, but I didn't go through it. And I think now I want to go through that, because if we get most of the stuff on that list, that will even make Gray Zone, I think that will make Gray Zone one of my favorite games. I think it will bring in a lot more players if they are able to do a lot on that list. Now, I will say, I don't know if they will do everything on that list. Looking at games like DayZ, I know it's a completely different game, but they said they were going to do stuff for that game for years, and they, you know, we'll add cars. 10 years later, they're still saying, we'll add cars. I think it took them a while to fix trees or something, or add in tree. I hope it's not that same situation where they have this big plan that they will never execute. But looking at these hotfixes and updates, it's looking good. That's enough of the updates though. Let's move on now. I want to go through the list of everything they have planned for Gray Zone Warfare. Is it this? Okay, as I said, this is an unscripted video, but scrolling to look for what I'm looking for, they even had hotfixes and updates from the release of the game. It looks like they have been fixing up and polishing things since the beginning, since the release, so I don't know why people are saying lazy devs. These devs don't seem lazy at all. They seem like, you know, they like their game and they're just trying to make it good. And as I said, Madfinger created this game, so that's pretty crazy. Madfinger. Go check out my last video if you want to hear all about that, because I'm not going to go through that again. Where is this? Where did I see this? Is it in the store page? What the... Where's that picture? Okay, so it's in the store. What the flippity floppity fluck? Oh, it's up there. Okay, dang. Okay, I found it. Jeez Louise. So, moving over to the second topic of this video, why I think Gray Zone Warfare is getting better, more, I should say, is going to get better, is because of the future that they planned out for this game. Now, if you head over to the Steam page for Gray Zone Warfare, and this took me forever to find for some reason, I was like, where is this? I know I have it. I showed a picture of it in my last video. Where did this go? But if you head over to Steam and you go to the early access spot where it says, like, this is an early access game, get instance, this is not fully developed, blah, blah, blah. It explains why it's early access, and they actually say how long they estimate it to be early access, and I didn't read this before, so reading this, it is actually kind of crazy to me, in my opinion. I kind of hate this, but I hope it is not the case. I don't know. They say, though, that Gray Zone Warfare is a long-term project that will continue to evolve until we deliver the ultimate gaming experience. We will release regular updates featuring new content, expanding world building, adding new weapons and gear, unveiling new quests and environmental storytelling, as well as optimizing and fixing bugs before concluding the early access phase. Yes, good. That's good. You want to fix everything, you want to get everything you want to get done with the game before you take it out of early access. But then they say, the approximate timeline may span several years depending on the community feedback and the fulfillment of our shared vision.
What did you say?
What does that mean? Is this game going to be early access forever? Just like Star Citizen and other games like that? I hope not, but I never read that before. Hopefully that we get the full release at least in a couple years, several years. What? That makes it sound like it's gonna be like 4 or 5 years. Ugh. That is not the point of this topic. The topic now is what they are planning to do, I guess, in those several years, but what they are planning to do before the full release, what they are trying to get out, trying to add into the game, trying to improve with, and almost every single thing on this list gets me super excited. And here. So the first thing that catches my eye is they want like a hazardous area on the map, probably like a stalker zone kind of thing, you know, like the zone, they call it the hazardous ground zero area, but I am assuming that is the middle ground zero area on the map, the big red area, and I have no clue what that's going to be. Maybe you need a mask up and there's radiation there, maybe there was gas dropped there, I don't know, but they say it will also have in-game enemies and some new storylines. So I can't wait to see what that's like. I don't know if that's already in the game. I know it's on the map, but I have not gone out there. I have not seen anyone out there, so I wonder if they're going to do something with that or if they've already done something with that. The next thing is they're trying to do stuff with the AI of the game altogether, you know, NPCs. They're trying to fix weather. They're trying to add in weather. They're also going to add in a night mode with night vision goggles, all of that. That's going to be really cool to see, you know, being able to go out at night with your, I don't know, that's going to be really fun. It's going to be like Bravo team going dark.
They're not that noticeable on your face.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. The next thing that catches my eye is the factions. I don't know if they mean that by the different factions you can play as, or if there will be different factions you can do missions for, and if kind of like the traders, you do missions or you go out in the game. We'll have to see what that's like though. The next thing that is awesome is skills, a skill system that, you know, you don't have to grind for, but it's based off of the achievements you get and what, not the achievements you get, but what you can achieve. And the more you do, the more skills you rack up, I guess. We'll need to see more on that, but a skill system would be really cool to see in a game like this. You don't really have skill systems in extraction shooters, and yes, I'm going to continue to call it an extraction shooter, but the next thing that I think is the thing I am most excited about, and I did bring it up a little bit in the last video, is customizable base. Is a, like they say, a hooch, but I don't know if that will be a room at the headquarters or if that will be your own little area that you can build in. I can't wait to see what that's going to be like. Hopefully it's different than Tarkov's. Again, comparing to Tarkov, but Tarkov's little base system is nice. You know, it puts a use to all the random loot you can pick up, but the UI and the way it functions is just kind of weird to me. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I could be crazy. I am just excited though that we are going to be able to get a customizable base. I brought it up that that's the one thing that it felt like this game was missing, and hopefully that does bring in a bunch of random loot like cell phones, batteries, lighters, just random stuff like that that you can't actually find. You only really find guns, armor, and, you know, consumables, medicine, and food, whatever. Hopefully they add in all of that, but you can look at the list for yourself. They are planning in a bunch of stuff, you know, brand new faction-based AI, brand new AI. They're going to add in new quest systems. They're going to try to change the guns. They're going to bring in a new complex trading system specifically for players. I don't know if that means like a global market or something, but that'll be interesting to see. Just looking at this list, if they are able to bring all of this together, if they are able to do that within the next couple of years, several years sounds like a long time. I hope it does not take a long time, but I know that if they achieve all of this in a timely manner, unlike games like DayZ, I think that Gray Zone Warfare will be the next best extraction shooter. I think Gray Zone Warfare will pop off. I think the player count will skyrocket back up. You know, speaking of player count, I had a lot of people commenting about the player count on that last video, so let's just take a look at that real quick. So looking at the player count, you know, it is still slowly dropping. There are a few people who get on here and there, you know. I bet it's squads because it's certain peak times of the day that people are hopping on, but it does hold a solid 1,000, you know, 2,000 players. I am one of those people. I still love playing this game. I don't care how low the player count goes. I'm usually playing PvE, to be honest. I think some players are pretty annoying, and I mentioned hackers in the last video. There are a lot of, I don't know if there's hackers, but there are a lot of cheaters. You know, there was that backpack glitch at the beginning, but that's a topic for a different video. I just wanted to talk about the future of Gray Zone and all of the improvements that it's gotten. You know, I only showed the future additives, they are planning to fix a bunch of stuff as well. They are planning a bunch of fixes, they're planning a bunch of additions, and I think if they're able to do it all, I think Gray Zone Warfare will be pretty big. I know that it's dropping off right now, but it is an early access game. Some people don't even like buying early access, so maybe when that full release comes, the players will come back. I don't know. For now though, this video is getting a little lengthy, so I think I'm just gonna wrap everything up with my final thoughts. Yes, I do enjoy Gray Zone Warfare. I know a bunch of people who watched that last video did also enjoy Gray Zone Warfare, but a lot of you did not. A lot of you thought that Gray Zone was not the best game, and the player count's falling off, you know. A lot of people think that the game has lazy devs, and I'm not going to argue with any of you. Maybe the devs are a little lazy, seeing that they are expecting several years before a full release. And maybe the game is falling off because the player count is. But that doesn't take away from how fun the game is, how beautiful the game is, and how crazy it is that Mad Finger Games created something like this. On top of that, let me address a few comments that I got on that last video. A lot of you were talking about the performance not being very good, and some of you were being kind of D-bags in the comments, you know, arguing, oh, you might have a crappy machine or whatever like that. Maybe not. The game is pretty unoptimized. Games these days are unoptimized, and sometimes you do have to overlook that if you're able to. But if you're not able to, that's a different story. To the people who aren't able to play this game, I would say just wait. Just wait until the full release. Just wait until they optimize things. They are fixing a lot, but look at games like Starfield. Starfield came out and barely anyone could play that game because their machines couldn't handle it. Now, they fixed that game up pretty well, even though that game's kind of dying off too. And don't come at me for single player games can't die. Yes, they can. Just stop. But to anyone who is afraid that they might get bad performance and have not bought in the game yet, all I have to say is just wait. The next thing I did see a few times were comments of people arguing whether or not Gray Zone Warfare is an extraction shooter. I saw someone saying it was a King of the Hill, and saying it is not an extraction shooter. Don't call Gray Zone Warfare an extraction shooter, but it's an extraction shooter. You go out into the field, you get stuff, you extract the stuff back to base. That's as simple as it is, and it is a looter shooter. You go out, you loot, you come back. I don't even see how it could be King of the Hill. You know, King of the Hill is being the best, running the server. You know, anyone tries to step up, you're gonna get taken out, and the goal is to take you out. Take out the king so you become the king. But who's the king in Gray Zone? There's just people playing the game. I don't understand that take. I don't know. I've never really played King of the Hill games, so take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But this game is definitely an extraction looter shooter because you extract, you loot, and you shoot. It's as simple as that. I mean, looking at the Steam page, one of the tags for the game is extraction shooter. So I don't know about that. That's stupid, I guess. Maybe I'm being petty. Who knows? This video is stretching on. This video, I've been rambling. I said it at the beginning. This is unscripted. This might not be my best video. I remember when I used to go unscripted, a lot of people really did not like those videos. A lot of people said, you know, write a script. Stop rambling into the mic. You know, figure out what you're going to say first. But I hope it was still okay. I just wanted to ramble and rant and rave a little bit about Gray Zone Warfare and why I think it's still good, and I think it's gonna get better. I think it's gonna get better. Hopefully I don't choke on those words later. I don't have much else to say. Yeah, Gray Zone Warfare. But I do still want to hear all of your thoughts on this pretty erratic, random, crazy video because it's unscripted, but I want to hear your thoughts on this video or just Gray Zone Warfare in the comments now. And if you enjoyed this video, why not slap it with a like and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on everything to come. And if you want to support everything to come, plus get videos up to a day early and get your name at the end of every future video, be sure to check out a membership to the channel now by pressing that little join button below. And lastly, head over to BillyTheWhip on any music platform if you heard any music that you enjoyed and you want to hear more of my home-cooked jams. And with us here, I thank you all for your viewing pleasure. I hope you all have the best day possible, and I love you. It's not weird, I promise.
The flames growing, flow water is flowing, no paddle still rowing, can't reap without sowing, ain't no cut without mowing, ain't loaning no tricks, holding my hand until I'm closing, but I'm rolling down this hill like